Everyone. We're going to be doing division of fractions in this lesson, and it's pretty simple. So let's get to it. Now, in this first example, they showed you how to do 1/2 divided by 3. So here you can tell that they started off with their 1/2, they drew it out in their area model, and then the next step was they took the half and they cut it into 3 pieces. So they did that so that they could actually divide it by 3. Now, you can't do 1 divided by 3 equally, but if you take that 1/2 and you split it into those 3 parts, you definitely can now share it between 3 people, or divide it by 3. Okay, so then now what they had was 3/6 divided by 3, which when you continue it, it should give you 1/6. Now, let's break this down on this next problem so that it can make a little bit more sense. Okay, so let's take a look at A here. Now, problem A is telling me to do 1/3 divided by 2. So, just like in the previous problem, I'm going to draw out my area model. So here is my area model. And I'm going to draw out 1/3. Okay, so now here is my 1/3. And I want to divide that by 2. So let's draw out 2 people here for reference. Now, I can't share this whole piece right now into or divide it by 2. So I can't share that equally to those 2 people. But what I can do is I can cut each of those thirds in half. Okay, so into 2 pieces to share with these 2, or divide by 2. So let's do that in another color here. So cut that like that, cut that like that, cut that like that. Now, the only part that you're sharing is this one, because it's the only one that's shaded in. It's the only one that you want to share between 2 people. Okay? So when you share that, just like that, each person got this much, which out of the whole thing is 1 out of, okay, so 1 out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, so 1/3 divided by 2 is 1/6. Now, when you show the math, it looks something like this. 1/3 divided by 2 turned into 2/6 divided by 2, which gave us 1/3. Okay, let's do the next one if it's still not making very much sense. Okay, so we got 1/3 divided by 4. So we're going to follow the same steps where we take our tape diagram to solve this problem. Okay, so we are going to show 1/3 on this tape diagram, like that, and 1/3 is about that much. Make sure to shade that in. And now we are going to be dividing it by 4. So we're going to be sharing it by 4 people, if that helps you visualize it. So it'll look something like this. We got 1, 2, 3, and 4 people like that. Now, in order to share that, you're going to need to cut each of those thirds into 4 new pieces, like this. and 2, and 3 creates 4. 1, 2, 3 creates 4. Okay, now you can share it equally like this. Like that. That person gets that. That person gets that. And this person will get that. And again, you're only going to be sharing the part that is shaded in, which in this case, it's 1/3. Now let's find out how much did each person get of the total tape diagram, okay? So this person got a total of 1 out of 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now an easy way to solve this is if each one is worth 4 and you have 3 of them, 4 times 3 gives you 12. So you have 12. Now let's double check my answer. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Perfect. So your answer is 1/12. Now let's show that with our equation. So we had 1/3 divided by 4 turned into 4 12s divided by 4, which gave us 1/12. Okay, and that is pretty much all you have to do to solve these problems. You have to draw your tape diagram, figure out what is shaded in, then cut the part that is shaded in into the amount of people you want to share it with, or the amount that you're dividing by. Okay, so let's take a look at 2a here. Now, although it's telling us to simply just divide then multiply to check, it's not asking us for a tape diagram, but I'm going to encourage you to still use a tape diagram to help you solve these problems, okay? Because it just helps you visualize them a little bit better. Okay, so let's take a look at A here for 2a. Now, when we do our tape diagram, it'll look something like this. You have your 1/2 here. Now you're going to split it into 7 new pieces. 6. Okay, and now what you're going to do is rewrite your equation. So initially you had 1/2 divided by 7, but now we turned that 1/2 into 7/14. Okay, now if you're wondering where those two numbers are going to come from, let's show that here. So here in total, we have 7 out of 14 total. Okay, the total amount of units that we have now are 14. So that means that this turned into 7 14 divided by 7. Okay, so 7 divided by this 7 will give us simply 1/14, which is written as 1/14. And then the problem is asking for you to check your answer by multiplying. So we're simply going to check it. Now the way you check it by multiplying is you simply took what your answer was here, so 1/14, and you are going to multiply it by the amount of groups that you were dividing by, in this case 7. So 1/14 times 7, okay, is going to be, when we rewrite it as a fraction, 7 times 1 over 14 times 1 is the same as 7/14. Okay, now when you reduce that fraction, it should give you 1/2 So that means that we got it right. Okay, and now you're simply just going to do those same steps to the rest of these problems. Draw your tape diagram, rewrite your equation, and then simply check by multiplying by the amount of groups you divided by. If this video helps, and again, if you have questions, please stop by my office hours and we can work on some of these. Have a great day, guys.